"You're coming with me," said the lonely rancher to the woman beaten for bearing 3 daughters the night the wind tore across the plains like a warning. The rancher found her collapsed by the roadside, her body a map of bruises, her spirit barely breathing. The moonlight revealed more than broken skin. It showed a woman who had been punished for giving life, shamed for the simple miracle of bearing 3 daughters. In that frozen moment, the vast land seemed to hold its breath, as if waiting to see whether cruelty would have the final word or compassion would rise from the dust. Before the story goes any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of human decency, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. The rancher had lived alone for years, his days measured by sunrises over fences and sunsets over cattle. Loneliness had settled into him like an old ache, not sharp but constant, the kind that grows familiar until it feels permanent. He had buried his past beneath work and wide skies, believing solitude was safer than loss. Yet when he saw the woman by the road, clutching herself against the cold, something in him shifted. It was not heroism or pity, it was recognition. He knew what it meant to be abandoned by the world. She came from a village where worth was counted in sons and silence. Her husband's family had turned on her after the 3rd birth, blaming her body for fate, their hands delivering judgment where love should have been. Each daughter she carried had become another reason to hurt her, until one night the violence spilled into the open and she fled with nothing but fear and a desperate will to live. The road had promised escape, but it delivered only exhaustion and despair. The rancher brought her to his land, not as an act of charity but as an instinct he did not question. The house was simple, weathered by time, yet warm with the quiet dignity of survival. She slept for days, her body finally allowed to rest. When she woke, she moved carefully, like someone expecting the ground to give way. The rancher gave her space, understanding that healing did not come from questions or demands, but from safety repeated over time. Life on the ranch was demanding, yet honest. Mornings began before dawn, with the air sharp and clean. The woman learned to help where she could, feeding animals, tending small tasks, discovering strength in muscles she had forgotten she possessed. Each day she stood a little taller. Each evening she felt the bruises fade, replaced by something unfamiliar but welcome, peace. The rancher watched quietly, noticing how resilience returned to her eyes, how she smiled at the sunrise as if it were a promise meant just for her. The greatest challenge was not the work or the scars, but the fear that followed her everywhere. She flinched at raised voices, even when none were directed at her. She expected punishment for mistakes that no one noticed. The rancher never corrected her harshly, never raised a hand or a voice. His patience became a language of its own, teaching her that respect could exist without conditions. Slowly, the weight of shame began to lift, replaced by the fragile belief that she had value simply because she existed. News from her past lingered like a shadow. She worried for her daughters, hidden with a distant relative, praying they were safe. The rancher listened without interruption, understanding that love for children was a force stronger than fear. He helped her send word, arrange a future where the girls could join her. It was not easy, and doubt returned often, but the land seemed to encourage persistence. Crops grew where care was given, and people healed where kindness was steady. Seasons changed, painting the ranch in golds and whites. With each passing month, the woman transformed. She laughed more freely, worked with confidence, and began to imagine a life beyond survival. The rancher, too, found his loneliness easing. The house no longer echoed with emptiness, it carried the sounds of shared meals and quiet understanding. Neither spoke of gratitude or obligation. What bound them was something simpler and deeper, mutual respect born from shared hardship. When the day came that her daughters arrived, the ranch felt different, alive with the energy of new beginnings. The girls ran across the fields, their laughter breaking the silence that had once defined the place. The woman watched them with tears she did not hide, tears of relief and fierce joy. The rancher stood nearby, feeling something settle in his chest, a sense that the land had finally become a home rather than a refuge. As time passed, the scars of the past did not vanish, but they lost their power. The woman learned that she was not broken for bearing daughters, she was strong for enduring love in the face of cruelty. The rancher learned that opening his life to others did not weaken him, it completed him. Together, without grand declarations, they built a family shaped by choice rather than blood, by care rather than control. If this story has touched your heart, if it reminded you that compassion can change lives in quiet, profound ways, please take a moment to like the video, share it, and subscribe. Your engagement helps spread messages of hope and humanity. Before this story ends, we have a special request. Comment the word hope if you believe that kindness can heal even the deepest wounds. The wind still moved across the plains, but it no longer sounded like a warning. It sounded like freedom, carrying the truth that even in a world that punishes love, there are places where dignity is restored, where broken paths lead to unexpected homes, and where a single act of compassion can rewrite the future for generations.